So with the holidays right around the corner, we thought it was time for an updated review and taste test of some of the vegan turkeys and vegan holiday roasts currently on the market.
We went and picked up 6 of some of the most widely available options, and we're gonna let you know which ones we think are worth it and which ones just ain't it. So let's dive right in.
First up, we have the Tofurky plant-based roast and wild rice stuffing, which you can purchase on its own in a bundle with gravy, or in the plant-based holiday feast bundle with gravy and a vegan brownie. The Tofurky plant-based roast is wheat and tofu-based with a wild rice and breadcrumb stuffing. It contains 5 servings, and to prepare it, you can bake it for a little over an hour if you've previously thawed it overnight in the fridge, or you can bake it for about 2.5 hours from frozen. This doesn't come with a baste, but there is a recipe on the package for a soy sauce, olive oil, and ground sage baste that they recommend you brush the roast with while you're baking. We paid a little over $13 at this on sale at Natural Grocers, but it typically costs between $15 and $17 at full price, and the plant-based holiday feast costs around $28 to $35. The unveiling. Wow. We need like a little curtain, a little velvet curtain.
Not even like is it called a cloche?
Yeah.
We'll have a little next time.
First impressions, smells really good. I got nice thick slices.
It does smell good. It also smells very specifically like Tofurky.
It smells exactly like their oven roasted turkey slices.
Slice. Yeah, it's the oven roasted specifically. It has a smell, you know?
The roast to stuffing ratio is high.
One might argue a little too high.
There's really not that much stuffing. It's fine. Let's try to get a bite with a little stuffing and a little bit of the roast.
It's a little tough.
This one right out of the oven looks much drier than the ham.
The glaze on the ham adds a lot of
moisture.
Yeah,
that's an ambitious bite.
Every time I eat anything on camera, it's way too big of a bite.
It's a bit rubbery. It's a little tough.
I think it's more than a bit rubbery.
The flavor is really good though. It's actually very salty, but in a good way.
And the rubbery, I'm just so used to it. It's just like a bunch of Tofurky slices like smushed together. So it's not like surprising. And it's not bad. It just is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do think this is the same exact protein mixture as in their slices, but when they're sliced thinly, you don't get the rubbery texture.
Right.
And it's really coming through here. I don't know if there's some way to cook this that would remedy that problem. Again, we just purchased the standalone turkey, but it's also available with pre-made gravy.
We've definitely had that before. And I remember it being pretty good. The thing about Tofurky is that it's always going to be good, because at least in my mind, it's like the first, not even turkey roast, but like sliced deli slices of turkey that I've ever had, because it was the first one on the market, I feel like.
I don't actually think I ever had this like way back in the day. So I'm not sure how this has evolved over the years, but
I feel like it hasn't. I feel like it's exactly the same.
Gotta give them props for being there in the beginning. Let's try the stuffing on its own. Ding. It is really moist.
It's good. I feel like the stuffing is better than the roast itself. Like the quality of it.
This is definitely one that needs a stuffing, because if it were just all the turkey, too dry. I'm sure if you just poured tons of gravy on it.
Yeah.
Or maybe just slice it thinner. I was going with thick slices because I feel like that's how you slice turkey. And I felt like when I was trying to thinly slice it, the stuffing was crumbling apart.
Yeah, I feel like if you just like Thanksgiving the crap out of it, you know, with cranberry sauce, if you're into that, I know it's controversial. I eat Thanksgiving kind of like just like take everything on the plate and like put it in like one bite. So if you did that, it would be great. I feel like this is good for people who already like vegan food. Like if you fed this to like a skeptic, they'd be like, this is exactly what I didn't want.
I think the simple question to ask is, would we repurchase this?
Only if it was
the last vegan turkey on earth.
I wouldn't repurchase you if you were the last vegan turkey on earth. Yeah, if it was the only one I could find, it would make for a great vegan Thanksgiving roast. But probably going to choose some other ones over this.
I would also say the cooking instructions might be a little off, especially if you're using a metal pan, which I did. The bottom kind of burnt a little bit and got really crunchy. For the ham, the instructions say to add a little bit of water, cover it with foil to
Get
kind
a
of
little
like
steam going.
I would recommend doing that for this as well. Shall we try the next thing?
Happily.
He likes it.
It's not bad.
Next, we're going to check out the Tofurky plant-based ham-style roast. This is a soy and wheat-based roast that has no stuffing inside, but it does come with a sweet and tangy amber ale glaze. The Tofurky plant-based ham-style roast has 5 servings in it, and here's a quick size comparison to the Tofurky roast. So these two have the same number of servings, but the ham is kinda small, and it's baked for about an hour and a half at 325 degrees. So the glaze comes in a pouch, and you just baste the ham with it a few times during baking.
The one and only, the incomparable
Tofurky ham.
It
worked perfectly. Did you know that Tofurky made in Oregon? And the glaze on the ham is made with beer from a brewery also in Oregon.
Support local.
Yeah, it's right next door to us.
That's nice.
It is nice.
I'm going to say this one is coming in with a bit of an unfair advantage. I already know I like this product. Last year we hosted a Friendsgiving and our friend Jenna brought this. I had also made a from scratch roast using the Field Roast cookbook, the mushroom and herb roast, which was good, but I found myself eating a lot more of this.
You devoured this. I remember that now that you're saying it. Mm-hmm. And also, Sarah always calls me a ham. I'm always just like hamming stuff up. So she's even...
I'm partial to hams.
Yeah.
Of all kinds.
Sorry.
Though I will say, my family never ate like baked glazed hams growing up. I don't really like real ham. That's the thing.
And I'm Jewish. My whole family's Jewish. And we're not kosher or anything, but we still never ate ham. Jews out there, do your families just like, even if you're not kosher, just like don't like pork? We didn't really eat that much of it.
But bacon.
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. So no Christmas hams for us.
You were a turkey family?
Turkey family, also because no Christmas.
It's sweet, it's savory, it's a little smoky.
Way better than the turkey roast.
I put too much in my mouth. You got an end piece. Is that dry?
Not really. I was actually going to say that. Like, it's so much moister. Obviously, there's a glaze on it, and the other one doesn't have a glaze, but it's more than that. It's like the inside of it is so much easier to eat. I really like this.
Does Tofurky sell ham-style slices? I only ever see their oven-roasted turkey. They have like a black pepper one. Yesterday at New Seasons when we were hunting down roast, I saw that they have a bologna style. This actually reminds me of bologna.
Oh yeah, it does.
And that was like my favorite deli meat growing up.
Yeah, it's like a big, I don't know if I'm going to use this word correctly, hock. A big hock of bologna. Yeah, look, they have smoked ham slices.
I wonder if that's the same.
It's got to be. Except for the glaze probably makes it just taste a little different.
It elevates it, if you will. There's a lot of glaze. I didn't actually even use all of it.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
Because they tell you to pour the entire packet of glaze over the ham during the last 15 minutes. What I did was I poured almost all of it, and I kept like kind of basting it every few minutes. And it really did thicken and kind of caramelize on there. I really like it.
We were just saying, like, I grew up in a turkey-only family. There's no tradition for me wrapped up in non-turkey Thanksgiving items, but I would eat this as my main thing because it would go great with stuffing and gravy and all the other fixins. So I would buy it over the Tofurky roast every single time.
I'm not a fan of beer at all, and the beer in the glaze doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's definitely used as a flavor enhancer. It's like when I put beer in chili. You never taste it, but look how cute it is. Look at its little tush.
Hey, look at its little tush.
When it comes to availability, we've seen them at Kroger before, I believe.
Generally, wherever I've seen the regular Tofurky roast, we see this alongside it. This one gets high markings from me.
Absolute winner.
I feel like we're just going to leave this on the counter and be picking at it all day, and at the end of the day, it's going to be gone.
And we're going to say, what should we do for dinner? I'm not really that hungry.
Because I'm full of protein.
Next, we're trying the Gardein plant-based turkey roast. This is a turkey-style roast made of soy protein and wheat gluten. It is stuffed with brown and wild rice, cranberry, and kale filling. It also comes with a classic vegan gravy. Now, the Gardein website says it can serve up to 8 people, but there are technically only 5 servings listed on the nutrition facts. This roast will run you between $15 and $17, depending on where you purchase it. Gardein also offers this in a smaller quantity under the product name Savory Stuffed Turkey if you don't need the huge roast. And they also offer lightly breaded turkey cutlets, which don't come with stuffing or gravy if you just want a simpler option for your holiday spread.
Got a little taste test, part 2. We're gonna eat some turkey with you. It's gonna be delicious, delicious, delicious. Test.
I think we have to put that in. That was way too good. We can't just waste that on test footage.
We're on day 2 of vegan turkey / holiday roast taste testing.
I'm hungrier today than I was yesterday.
Good.
And we have 4 roasts to try.
I had heard in previous years that this Gardein turkey is the same product as the Trader Joe's turkey, that they just basically repackage it for Trader Joe's. Maybe it was the case in past years, but it's definitely not the case anymore. The breading looks very similar, but once you cut into it, the meat is a different color entirely. The texture of the stuffing is very different. And there's way more cranberries. I got like a huge hit of cranberry fragrance when I cut into the Trader Joe's one.
Now this has been my go-to every Thanksgiving since I've been vegan. I've gotten a Gardein roast. So for me, it's like a classic. I know it's gonna hit.
Back in 2020, when Eric and I were living with my mom and sister temporarily, I think this is the one. We had an all-vegan Thanksgiving. My family isn't vegan, but this is the one that my mom bought for us, I think.
I think so too. And can we just all take a moment and appreciate how cool it is that your mom and sister did an all-vegan Thanksgiving with us?
It is very cool.
It's a great memory.
Let's dig in. This one also comes with a gravy. This one was much easier to slice than either of the Tofurky products from yesterday, which I really had to like saw into. This is much more tender.
Even just this, I used a knife. You didn't need a knife for this one.
Should we try it without the gravy first?
I think so.
Really good. Texture is so much better.
It has a much more well-rounded texture. It's much easier to not only cut, but to eat. And it's really flavorful. It's not too salty. Like, it needs gravy.
Yes.
It needs that little punch of salt from gravy. Can I get in here?
Much less flavorful on its own than the Tofurky products. That's really good.
It is. It's a good combo. So compared to the Tofurky roast, the stuffing to vegan turkey ratio is much higher in this one. There's like a nice thin layer of meat surrounding a bunch of the stuffing, whereas the Tofurky roast was kind of the inverse of that. It's nice.
Let's try the stuffing on its own. I can see the little celery pieces in here.
I was going to say there are lots of goodies that are visible right off the bat.
It's a little sweet. I get like the sage flavor, but not overwhelmingly.
It tastes like real stuffing. You can taste the celery and the onions and obviously the cranberries. It's nice. It's also very well-rounded and balanced.
Yeah, you do. You get the crunch from it's onions. It's not mushy is what I mean to say. And it's holding together much better than the Tofurky rice-based stuffing. You can get nice clean cuts if you're having guests over and you want it to look nice on the platter. This breading is really pretty incredible too.
Got very crispy,
buttery.
I'm pretty sure at Thanksgiving in 2016, I ate an entire one of these over the course, because it was with my family out in Colorado and I was the only vegan person, and I'm pretty sure I ate the entire thing within like 2 days, like Thanksgiving Day and the day after. I consumed the entire thing.
And I would imagine this sits much lighter in the stomach than the Tofurky ones.
Yeah.
Those are very dense.
The Tofurky's like a football, and you could go have a catch with it.
I want to try the breading on its own too.
I want to just eat more of it.
There's lots of herbs in it. It's kind of giving mozzarella stick coating.
It is. You're right.
Which is a good thing, for the record.
That was a great thing.
Man, this is just good. This is just an all-around tasty product. And I feel like this is one, you don't necessarily have to be vegan to enjoy it. Whereas the Tofurky products, you kind of have to be used to and comfortable with the texture of, that gluten-y soy meat.
The denseness. I agree. I think if someone was on the fence about it, this would satisfy them.
I really like this one. Yeah. This one's definitely my front runner so far.
I agree. Only because it's so different from the ham, which is obviously, like you saw, we think is amazing. They're much different vibes.
But given a choice between the two, I'd be more likely to choose this one.
For Thanksgiving, I agree.
I don't think the cooking instructions are accurate. It seems like just way too much time. I actually just cooked this in the exact same way as the Trader Joe's turkeyless roast. I think I baked it 45 minutes altogether. Last 15 minutes uncovered to crisp up the breading.
And we had thawed them.
Yes.
So the instructions on there are for cooking from frozen, I think. And it's like 7 hours of cooking. It's not that long.
I just feel like there are so many things going on during Thanksgiving, and oven real estate is very precious. You know what? Didn't we make this in the air fryer?
I was just going to ask about air frying it.
We air fried it because we were making so many things.
I don't see why that wouldn't work, right? As long as it fits in your air fryer tray, it's a good idea. Winner, winner, turkey dinner.
Next, we have the Trader Joe's breaded turkeyless stuffed roast with gravy. This is a gluten-based roast with a wild rice, cranberry, celery, and onion stuffing. The roast is also coated in an herbed breading, and it also comes with a side of gravy. The Trader Joe's vegan roast serves 6, and it's currently priced at $12.99.
I don't know what that addition was. That was the stupidest noise I've ever made.
It's like a little guitar lick. Trader Joe's, what you got?
Trader Jobins.
It really is funny how much darker the meat portion of this is than the Gardein. Dark meat, light meat situation.
And it's not meat.
When I was slicing this one, it was much more crumbly than the Gardein. It was harder to get nice, neat slices. Just cosmetic, but, you know.
I can tell, too. It's falling apart a tiny bit more.
It's unruly. Stuffing and bird.
Please.
More flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of herbs, you know? But like the poultry spice.
I really, really almost love it. There's too much cranberry in the stuffing.
Yep. Immediately, that's what I thought.
Like, it seems like they're kind of going for like an all-in-one kind of thing. You know, like maybe you won't need cranberry sauce. But I would like to dictate the amount of cranberry that goes on each bite.
Let the consumer decide, Joe.
Joe stuffed me too full of cranberries.
It's not bad, but if you don't like cranberries, you won't like this. Texture of the meat is pretty similar, if not the same, as the Gardein.
I'm gonna get pure bird in this bite. I'll be calling it that from now on.
I feel like the meat is a little drier, like a little firmer and drier, but not in a bad way.
Do you think it's also more flavorful, though, than the Gardein? Because I do. Mm-hmm. I think I like the turkey portion more than the Gardein. Mm-hmm. But too much of the stuffing that I don't really like. It's very black peppery. Like, I was getting a little bit of spice, and I think it's black pepper.
It's not leaping out at me. But it is a little spicy, yeah.
It's a little spicy. If you're very, very, and I'm thinking about Jasmine from Sweet Simple Vegan.
Sensitive to spice, then...
Yeah. You might not enjoy it that much if you're super sensitive to spice.
Let's try the gravy. It looks like applesauce.
It really does. Concerningly.
That's a little smoky.
It's good.
That tastes like actual meat.
It does a little bit.
There's something in there that's very umami.
Meaty. So what do you think overall?
Would you feed this to...
A dog?
It's weird because I can recognize that it's really good. It's just not my preference because it's so cranberry.
They took the ratio too far in the other direction, where there's too much stuffing.
And the stuffing is a little bit mushy.
I would feed it to somebody. The Gardein still wins for me.
I really like the meat part.
I do. I wish the whole thing was a log of meat, like the Tofurky one.
I just wanted to compare the gravy to the Gardein gravy.
Why did I think that would work? It's a fork.
I feel like the Gardein gravy is that classic brown gravy flavor. It tastes really buttery. I like the texture. It's not overwhelming. I just abuse the gravy. I pour it on everything. I need like equal parts gravy and actual food, and that is the right flavor. Like, that's what I want. The Trader Joe's gravy is a little...
I don't really get what's happening in it.
It's like smoke. It's like a smoked duck gravy.
Oh, smoked duck. Obviously, we're doing this taste test because we want to show everyone what's available. If you don't want to take the time to make a roast along with all the side dishes you may be making. But I think, at least so far, it seems worth it to take the time to make gravy.
If I bought the Gardein turkey, I probably wouldn't. Actually, I would, because I'd want way more gravy than comes with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You like it super soaked, though.
Yeah.
I would be happy with the Gardein gravy, and I'd be like, meh, with the Trader Joe's gravy.
I feel like I just roasted the Trader Joe's turkey, but it's not bad. If I had a Trader Joe's nearby me and I wasn't able to find any of the other alternatives we've tried so far, I would totally rock with it.
If it came down to the Tofurky versus this, which one are you siding with?
This one.
Me too.
I think the more things I try after the regular Tofurky roast, the less I like it.
I agree.
Next up, we have the Field Roast Celebration Roast. This is a gluten-based roast with a sage, garlic, and bread stuffing. It comes with a porcini mushroom gravy, which comes in powdered form. You just need to mix it with water and thicken it on the stove or in the microwave. And it is also available in a miniature size without the gravy. This comes with 8 servings, and we purchased this at our local natural grocers for $13.15 on sale, but it will typically cost between $20 and $25 at regular price. There are 3 cooking methods detailed on the box. We chose to oven roast it for about an hour and to heat the gravy up on the stovetop.
Want me to do?
I just... You're committed. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've had this one before. Me and my sister Lauren ate this at one Thanksgiving at some point a few years ago. And I remember we liked it, but I just know it's not... This one's a roast, not a turkey.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really excited to be eating more seitan. It just looks dry. I don't know. I think I'm having vegan turkey fatigue now.
You're burnt out on vegan turkey.
I will try to give it a fair shot.
All right, so the stuffing seems to be blending into the faux meat, and it's kind of hard to tell where one ends and the other begins.
Yeah, when I was cutting into it, I had to double check the box to see if this even has stuffing. And it says that it does have a bread stuffing, but yeah, like he said, you can't really tell just looking at it. The center is like a little bit darker, but the texture seems to be pretty similar throughout. The flavor is actually maybe my favorite of everything we've tried so far. Yeah, you really get the sage, very savory, right amount of salty. What do you think?
I will agree that the flavor is very, very delicious, but there's also the very seitan-y flavor, which I know you really kind of don't like seitan. Seitan, I say that word differently every single time it comes out of my mouth. I'm a soy protein kind of guy.
You're a soy boy.
I'm a certified soy boy. I just don't like seitan as much. Shaking the entire table.
Oh no, the deeper we go into it, the more it seems like the stuffing is becoming a bit more distinct. So let me try some of the center.
What I like about the Gardein and Trader Joe's meat portion, it was juicy and it kind of came apart easily. The seitan just goes back to that very thick, very almost rubbery kind of sensation.
But this one's not nearly as rubbery as the Tofurky roast.
That's true. I do like it. And I do think if we had all the fixins around it, I would really enjoy it. This one's up there for me.
Yeah, I really like the flavor of this one. Let's try it with the porcini mushroom gravy.
Porcini.
Eric just heated this up with a little bit of water, right?
It's just water. It comes in a powder like you saw. Oh, it got thick. I was worried it wouldn't actually thicken.
I don't know if I like that.
I feel like the texture's better than the other ones. It kind of just is salty.
It's taking so long for me to chew.
It's dense. It is a dense product. Hard to cut through again.
He's grunting while cutting.
I'm like Serena Williams up here.
It smells really good. It's very velvety texture, whereas the other two were kind of gloopy.
A little bit.
But there's something not right here. This is going to be a very weird comparison.
Oh boy.
We used to drink a lot of the Four Sigmatic mushroom coffees. It comes with freeze-dried coffee and like chaga mushrooms, and that is what I'm getting here.
I don't think I ever had enough of that to remember what you're talking about, but believe me, I trust you.
It's not like a deep, savory, rich, well-rounded umami flavor. It's almost like cardboardy. There's no depth to it.
I do agree with that, and I think the way I described it before, it just seems salty, but the texture is nice.
If we were having people over, I don't even know if I could put this out.
Really?
In good conscience.
Wow. Okay, I don't think it's that heinous, but that's just me.
No me gusta. But this is okay.
We're definitely chewing this product more than maybe all the other ones. Mm-hmm. Then again, I keep taking humongoid bites.
It's just taking so long to chew.
It's okay. Get it down with some gravy.
Absolutely not. Wow, what a waste of porcinis, huh?
You really hate the gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Listen, I made a point not to watch our last taste test because I didn't want to be influenced by my own opinions of the past. I need to see if I also hated this gravy then.
I'm really curious to see. Do you remember coming with the powdered gravy last time? I don't remember that.
I don't remember any of these, really.
Maybe it's a new gravy. Maybe. Or maybe not. We'll go back and watch.
Reformulation?
All right, so final thoughts on this.
I like it. I don't know. I think the conclusion I'm coming to, the further we get into this taste test, is that the turkey/roast is not really a vital thing for me. Mm-hmm. I'm much more about the sides. Like, if you and I are just going to have a Thanksgiving alone this year, are we going to buy a roast?
Yeah, I'll say it. I think I would want one, and I just don't think you would eat that much of it. And you'd be happy with some good stuffing, gravy, green bean casserole, potatoes. Like, would that be a satisfying Thanksgiving platter for you?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that my family always had turkey, but I don't think I ever ate that much of it.
Whereas at my Thanksgiving, I would always be like, out of the way, I get the turkey leg. And I'd be like, it's like honestly gross to think about. All right, so we just have differing ideals. Mm-hmm. And that's why we love each other.
I like this since I have it, and we will eat the rest of it. I'm probably going to end up shaving it and making a sandwich out of it, because I feel like that's the best way to eat something that's this dense is to thinly slice it. But I wouldn't seek it out again.
Next up, we're trying the Field Roast Hazelnut and Cranberry plant-based roast. This is a wheat-based roast which contains hazelnuts, candied ginger, and rosemary. It's also wrapped in puff pastry, and unlike the Celebration roast, this one does not come with gravy. It's prepared by baking for about an hour, and the Field Roast Hazelnut and Cranberry roast comes with 8 servings. This roast costs between $20 and $25, and it's less commonly available than Field Roast's Celebration roast, but we found it at New Seasons Market here in the PNW.
Can we do the trumpets one more time? No, we're gonna get copyright stricken.
Our protein-laden journey is about to come to an end.
I feel like there's a brick in my tummy, and it's only gonna get worse.
You know, I love a puff pastry moment, I will say.
Okay, so Sarah swears that we had this one at some point.
Well, Field Roast has kind of rebranded, so the packaging is different, and I think they changed the name.
I don't remember that. I'll be honest, I'm a little scared of this one. The flavors are kind of extreme sounding for a Thanksgiving roast.
Candied ginger.
Candied ginger.
That's a bit weird. It's a little haute cuisine for us.
It's a little hoity-toity.
I prefer, Impossible Whoppers.
Ooh, let's do that on Thanksgiving. Not really sure how I'm going to respond to this one with the puff pastry. I don't really know how I feel about it.
What?
I haven't had it enough times in my life.
It's literally butter and flour.
I guess that's a good point. It smells nice. Seems like more of a Christmas thing.
It tastes like the other one, but wrapped in puff pastry so far. But
And
I
with
see
the
a bunch
addition
of cranberries. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it more than I thought I would.
Oh, yeah?
And it's much juicier than I thought it would be. Like, I was kind of expecting a little desert action in there. Like, I thought I was going to be like,
well, thank God you're not.
That puff pastry is good.
Yeah, let me get a piece that has more variety in it. I think I got a big chunk of the ginger, and it was not my favorite thing. I really don't mind the cranberries in this.
I was thinking that.
The sweetness is nice.
Why is it not so overpowering like in the Trader Joe's one?
Maybe just because there's so much more flavor in the seitan.
Yeah, it is flavorful and it is juicy. It's a little much, like I kind of thought it would be.
It's the ginger. It's just a bit weird.
I finally got the ginger.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. It's not bad, though. The hazelnuts, texturally, though.
Where are the hazelnuts?
I feel like they're like crushed up and strewn about the roast. Before you were vegan, had you ever had beef Wellington?
No.
Because that's what this is going for, correct?
Maybe? Are there like nuts and ginger in beef Wellington? No.
I think they made it weird.
They made it fancy.
They made it fancy.
Yeah. I think it's just trying a little too much.
Lots of flavors, not necessarily all of them needed. Listen, I think I've said this already, but every single one of these needs a homemade gravy to be as tasty as they can be.
Am I just gonna...
Eat the puff pastry? Yes, you are. The puff pastry is the best part.
It's just the ginger that's putting me off of it.
I feel like you're kind of shocked by how much you actually like it. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
I am too.
Would you feed this to your family?
No. I don't think I would. No, I wouldn't.
The puff pastry is so good.
This is about to be, like, removed. Like,
naked.
It's going to be removed from it. And it's going to be, like, a massive seitan sitting there. You're going to try to slide it out?
Off camera.
Yeah, you got to blur that or something.
But, like, genuinely, I might remove the puff pastry so that I can eat the center again, like, on a sandwich or something.
Any final thoughts on this roast?
No.
She's over it, people. I think you've been roasted to a crisp by the roasts.
Here's what I think we should do. Put this away, sleep on it, come back tomorrow, do a little breakdown, recap, and final ranking. It's the next day. We've had time to literally and figuratively digest. We're gonna give you our definitive ranking.
The digestion part wasn't so easy. The literal digestion part.
Yeah, we didn't feel so great yesterday. I don't think seitan really agrees with my system.
Turns out eating half of 6 different roasts over the course of 48 hours isn't great for the human body. So let's start from the bottom, I'd say, and work our way up. So our rankings may have shifted a little bit since we've had a bunch of time to think about it.
With that said, our 6th and final place goes to the Trader Joe's Turkey-less breaded roast.
And keep in mind, none of them are actually, like, this one's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just our least favorite out of all of them.
For me, I just really didn't like the gravy. Neither of us really liked the flavor of the stuffing, the overwhelming cranberry flavor, and just compared to the Gardein roast, which seems to be going for kind of the same thing as this one, we prefer that one.
Sorry, Trader Joe.
I feel a little bad.
However, this one is very affordable, like most things at Trader Joe's, I feel. So, you know, that's a positive.
In our 5th place spot, we have
the field roast, hazelnut, and cranberry. Now this one, again, it's good, but for me, I like something more classic for Thanksgiving. This has so many flavors that I can't imagine wanting to put gravy and stuffing and potatoes like all mixed in with it. With that being said, I was kind of like picking at it earlier today, and it is delicious by itself. So maybe for Christmas?
Maybe, yeah. And again, it's just a matter of me preferring the other option that Field Roast has over this one. Our 4th place spot goes to the Tofurky plant-based roast with wild rice stuffing.
So this one, in complete contrast to the previous one, has not that much flavor. And like we said, the texture is kind of rubbery and tough, but
it's very classic. It feels familiar if you've been vegan for a while, especially.
And because of the blandness, you can really just doctor it up with all the Thanksgiving stuff on your plate, and it's not going to get in the way.
I also think the stuffing in this one was pretty delicious.
Not enough of it, but I agree. Coming in our 3rd slot is
the Field Roast Celebration Roast.
So this one, texturally, seitan, it's juicy, it is a little tough, but it's very flavorful without being too flavorful. I think this one is also suited more for
a different holiday?
It's not, yeah.
This is definitely a solid option, especially if you don't mind not having that classic turkey flavor, but pure seitan is just not our personal preference, and it hurt our stomachs.
Just a little bit.
And I can only imagine how much more my stomach would have hurt if I had also eaten a whole plate of gravy and Thanksgiving sides with tons of butter. It's just a matter of how robust your digestive system is.
And I pride myself on having a pretty robust one myself, but still kind of brick-like in there, but still a good option. And in a tie for 1st place, we have the Gardein turkey roast and the Tofurky ham.
Both of these products we really loved. We found ourselves kind of picking at after the taste test. It's just a matter of whether you want something more classic like a turkey or if you're open to having a ham.
I agree. Both absolutely delicious. And I would get this for Thanksgiving, and I would get this if we were having Christmas with your family and we wanted something just a little different. But you can't choose one over the other, in my opinion.
Apples to oranges.
Apples to oranges. Turkeys to hams. I think these are the 2 juiciest and most flavorful options, just in general.
Right, it's the right combination of good texture and flavor.
Without being too overpowering to mix with things. Is that it?
Yeah.
Have we done it?
That concludes our vegan turkey and vegan holiday roast taste test for this year.
Now all we have to do is figure out what the hell to do with all the leftovers. Let us know which is your favorite, or if your favorite isn't even in this lineup and it's something else, leave a comment down below.
Make sure to subscribe for more vegan taste tests and recipe videos. We will have some more Thanksgiving and holiday content coming soon, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.